This is it, workout 18 of the 30-day golf fitness transformation. So today, lower body focused, a lot of hip exercises. So if you need some hip exercises, especially external rotation, but there are a bunch of internal rotation in here too. Great exercises today to help you with that. Again, we're just going to do 2 sets of this, lower volume, really just kind of a deload session here. We're going to take a day off tomorrow. We're going to come back on Thursday, test, see how we did over the 30 days, see if anything's improved, see if anything's gotten worse, hopefully not, and reevaluate, and then kick into another basically a 4-week cycle. So, you ready to go today? Last one.
Glad I made it to the end.
Knock this out. So workout 18, here we go. Kicking this off with some standing hip cars, so they're controlled articular rotation. So, I'm not sure if we've done any of these actually, quadruped or anything, but we're gonna do this one standing. Actually, let's turn this way. So I'm gonna use this rack pull, and what I want him to do is I want him to squeeze this rack pull, all right? They call it a radiation, all right? So I want him to really focus on squeezing this rack pull, put his opposite leg right up against the pole, so that's gonna lock in his hip here, and he is just going to work on this left hip, all right? So from this position, he's coming up into full flexion, then he's coming out to the side, external rotation, then he's coming internal rotation, kicking back into extension and down, all right? Want to keep this lower back away from arching, okay? So he's just focusing on creating as much range of motion as possible in that hip. Through a full cycle, all the way up to flexion, nice, slow, controlled motion, trying to really work that entire hip range of motion. So I want you to come, I want you to go backwards, yep, there you go. Good. So today he's going to do 2 sets of 5 probably. The second set we may, go up towards 8 or 10. But a great exercise to get those hips moving, to really focus on creating as much range of motion in that hip as possible. Oh. As you can see, it's very easy for him by the sound of it. Next up here, this is a quadruped fire hydrant. So again, working the hip here, working that glute. All right, so I want him in a nice position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, good flat back, spine, neutral pelvis. All right, and all he's going to do is he's going to lift this hip out to the side. All right, so again, the range of motion here is if this opens up, we don't want this to open up. We want his back to stay flat. So he's just bringing that hip up to the side, Good. All right, so he's going to do 2 sets of 10 of this. So this is okay, pretty much staying in this position here. Now he's going to bring his knees out so his feet together and from behind. It's more of internal rotation here. Good internal rotation stretch for those that lack some internal rotation like myself. It's a frog stretch. But from here, what we're going to do is we're going to do the pelvic tilts, right? So this was an issue of Ryan's. When he comes into posterior, he got some shake and bake. So from this position, we're just dumping that water out, filling it up. Dumping it out, filling it up. Good, just focusing on that pelvic tilt in this position here. So he's going to do 2 sets of 10 of it, like I said. All right, a little balance exercise here. We're going to use an RX pad. It'll obviously make it a little bit more difficult. We'll see how he does. If he doesn't do well, we'll get rid of the RX pad, just use the floor. But he's going to do a single leg balance, slight bend in the knee, and I'm just going to toss some tennis balls, and just working on that glute activation and that single leg balance. We'll do 10 of about 20 of these today, or excuse me, 2 sets of about 20. Okay, back to the glutes here. So this is a shin box, all right? So similar to a 90-90 position, but the feet are in a little bit. So all he's gonna do out of this position is just simply a glute raise. So he's gonna press his knee in, force that external rotation, that internal rotation on that hip, and he's going to squeeze his glutes, come up into extension. All right, this is just a shin box raise. Okay. We'll do 2 sets of 10 of this. A little bit of glute work, get some external and internal rotation in those hips. Like I said, we're going to crush the hips today, but lower volume, just some good mobility work today. All right, I'm already sure that this is going to be his favorite of the day. So we're going to do clamshells, but I'm going to do manual resistance with them. So I think we've just done regular clamshells, banded ones. Now I'm going to add some manual resistance, really make them work on this one. So hip stack on his side, a good a little bit of a curl in the back there, take away any lumbar rotation, and I'm going to place my hand on his hip and on his knee. All I want him to do is press that knee up. Good, back down, up, good, back down, up. All right, so he's going to do 2 sets of 10 of this on each side. Another great hip exercise here. So we're going to get in a 90-90 position. All right, so that front leg is in an external rotation, this back leg in internal rotation. We got 90-90 here. And all he's going to do is he's going to do alternating rotations and reaches into it. So he's reaching across, really getting a good stretch there in that left front hip. And then he switches out of it. So this one goes into internal, this one comes into external, and he reaches across. All right. Really want to try and work hard in that hip range of motion, right? Force yourself to really get into as much range of motion as you have. And then a good, nice stretch here on the lateral line. Good. So we'll just do 2 sets of 10 of this. Again, great little mobility warm up. Exercise. And we're going to finish up with the great what's that strap, and we're going to do some dynamic rotations. So this is as close to the golf swing, I guess, you're going to get here. And I just said we weren't doing anything too intense. This is the most intense we're going to get today. Obviously, this is the last exercise here. But he's got that wrapped around him, so it's going to mimic the golf swing in a lot of ways. All he's going to do is he's going to rotate into his backswing here, and then he's going to pop out of it, right? We're good. Just getting some full rotation. A rotation in the hips, rotation in the upper torso. Really pushing off that back side, staying front and firm on the front side. Again, I'm not getting into golf mechanics by any means. We're just doing some dynamic rotations. Good. He'll do 2 sets of 10 of this to finish off today. And that's it. Workout 18 in the books. How'd it go? Good. Good?
Definitely know your weaknesses.
Yeah, we really hit the hips today. Got those real good. Obviously you can tell the dynamic rotations needs a little bit of work, just sequencing, right? But hey, 30-day transformation, golf fitness transformation, 18 workouts. We hit a lot of stuff, worked on a lot of scap with them, a lot of external rotation and hip, balance. So tomorrow we're gonna take a day off, and then we'll come back Thursday. We're gonna retest, evaluate how we were 30 days ago and how we are today, and that will set us up for the next cycle in the training program, right? So this was mostly about movement this first 30 days. Obviously you're gonna gain some strength, which is what we want, but we really wanted to focus on that movement, and we're gonna continue to focus. I don't know what's Thursday's gonna show up, but I guarantee he's still gonna need to work on some external rotation. He's still gonna need to work on some scap and shoulder strength, right? But hopefully we made some improvements, we can see some improvements, and we can continue to kind of sprinkle some exercises in there as he continues to strengthen and increase his power. So, great work.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we'll take some rest and we'll see you Thursday.